Greetings to all my black brothers and sisters all around the world. It's really a joy and a pleasure being out here in nature. Greeting you, enjoying the lovely sunlight. You know, I'm not in any long sleeve and tie up here, you know, and running from the sun because I'm not a zombie or a vampire. You know, we are the people of the sun, and without the sun there's no life. Okay, and everything comes from the sun. The very food we eat, it is because of the sun. Okay, and the water we drink is because of the sun, everything. So, that is why, my brother and my sisters, I'm taking back my power by embracing the sun. Because the sun must arise with healing in his wing. And you're speaking of the sun as his, speaking as the sun as a person. Read Malachi 4, verses 2. Okay? And as I speak to you, I'm listening to the chirping of the birds and they're making song in my ears, and it's so sweet. It's sweet, sweet message, sweet, sweet vibration and frequency here for me. Getting all the energy from the chi. It's Tai Chi. Spiritual Kung Fu. Okay, with that being said, I just want to welcome the Third Exodus Assembly and all the followers of William Marion Branham to the Mount Carmel showdown. I'm asking you to bring your wood, bring your stone, bring your water, bring all the elements together, because you have found yourself with Jezebel, a religious, along with a political mindset, because you have gotten caught up with the church system instead of the mystical mind speaking to a people. And you have chosen Ahab, a man who would do anything to keep his power, which it is a false power. And so we see all those who find themselves under church system have a false power, which is actually the power of Caesar. And that is why instead of teaching the people, first of all, about the being, the people have been taught about getting. So when you get, they end up getting church building, and end up worshiping idol, and end up looking outside of themselves. And that is why the Elijah consciousness, which is a state of consciousness, a state of mind, a state of being, have to always come to correct the error, to ask of them to call on the false God and see who would answer by fire. Because the fire represents the sun. And that is why, because of the sun, and there's a sun above, and there's a sun within us, and there's a sun under the earth, that's why you can have volcanic eruption. And that's why you can take two stones and rub them together, and it creates fire. And that is what normally takes place in an enlightened man, to come to his magical or electrical self, or his magnetic self, where he will ascend. So I'm saying, bring your elements together and let us see who will answer by fire. That's why I'm saying to you that Mount Carmel is speaking about the place of the mind. Everywhere it's speaking about the mount, a mountain. It is speaking about the mind. It is speaking about the highest peak. It is speaking about the highest level of consciousness. That's when we speak about the upper room. And speak about Pentecost. It is speaking about the higher level of consciousness. Not a two-room house. Oh my. It is speaking about the born again experience. So, when you think it is speaking about a literal Elijah, a historical Elijah, no. It is all states of consciousness, states of mind. And Mount Carmel being the vineyard of God is speaking about the place of God. The vineyard is where you plant all the trees, is where you plant your thoughts. And the spirit of Elijah will always point you to the secret of imagining. It will all point you to the secret of creation. It will all point you to the place where things just happen, where things can be manifested. So it was showing you these religious ones with their religious concepts and mindset. They were calling on a God that could not respond to them, that could not manifest as they would wish, because the genie did not awaken them. They have not awakened the genie in themselves, because they were looking outside. And the fire don't take place outside, because it is a supernatural fire. And so you have to bring it to the highest place. And that's why, through science and technology, we have to come to the age of the computer and the age whereby we're living in a global village for me to do what I am doing here and show you that the power is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And when you talk about Jesus Christ, the same yesterday, today, and forever. Your mind, it is speaking about. That's why everything that you read in the Bible is happening now, and there's nothing new under the sun. Because everything must first be a thought. Everything must first be imagined. And that's why I tell you in Deuteronomy 32 that I create the good and I create the evil, and there's no other God but me. And Isaiah 45 and 7, I think. He said, I create the darkness and I create the light. I create the good and I create the evil. And I think it's in Amos 3 and 6. It says, can evil be done in a city and God haven't done it? It had to first be a thought. It had to first be imagined. Because God is your own human imagination. The eternal body of man is the human imagination. And so when the Elijah consciousness is reached, with the Elijah consciousness is the Christ consciousness, it must restore back a people. And he must bring the rain. He must bring all the elements together and show you how to manifest. That's why I always say, use Psalms 4. Use Job 33, verses 14 to 16. Go to bed more consciously. Use Songs of Solomon, whereby he says, when you find the one you love, what you're speaking about, your desire, the thing you want to manifest upon the face of the earth. And when you manifest it, you will feel good. That's why he said, and God said, it is good. When you see the fulfillment of the prophecy. Because when you have a desire and it manifests, it is fulfillment of the prophecy. That's why Habakkuk says, if the vision tarry, because you have to visualize it. Everything that is in this world was first visualized, and everything that will ever be would be first be visualized or imagined. That's the creative power, because there's only one creator and there's only one creative power. And that's why, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And so, and as he continued to think, so he would remain. So my brothers and my sisters, I'll reach out to you. Especially my black brothers and sisters all around the world, and those who are followers of William Branham, and those who are in the Third Exodus Assembly, in Trinidad and Tobago, and in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are at war. Because this is the Mount Carmel showdown. And Vin is competing to control your mind and to keep your mind in the church system. Because you have a family to feed and a reputation to keep. But I'm saying to you, look within yourself. For the kingdom of God is within you. And the Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God. Matthew 6:33, and all these things will be added unto you. Those are not idle words. You will find the secret of creation. And that is what it is teaching you in the Mount Carmel Showdown. How to find the secret of creation. It is believing in yourself. Because you are the creator. The creator is in you. Because God is life and life is God. And you can't separate God from life. You can't separate life from God. So when you're talking about the creator is in you. So everything that happens in the Bible, it takes place in the mind of man. And that is why there's no brother, no sister in the Third Exodus Assembly, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, or in Trinidad and Tobago, or any man, any part of the world can tell me anything that was ever done in the Bible, whether good or evil, that wasn't false of thought. That wasn't false imagined. So, as a black man, I am taking back my power, and I am telling the white man, take his white Jesus and push it where sun don't shine. And let me say this, I might come across a little rude to you with this, but many of you have your head shoved so far up the white man ass that you can't look in the mirror and see your own self, that you've been made in the image and likeness of the Almighty, and that they take you away from the S-U-N and point you to the S-O-N. And there's nothing no man in this world could tell me about the S-O-N that doesn't refer to the S-U-N. And I have experienced the S-U-N in my own life because it has arisen in my life. And when you have the Kundalini experience and you exit your skull and burn from this portal and fulfill St. John 3, you will understand what I'm saying. And everything I'm saying here is the truth. And that the main characteristic of the Christ is that he cannot be proven wrong. And according to Matthew 22, I think it's verses 34, he put them to silence. And I will always put you all to silence. Because as long as you speak, you have to say whether it is a thought or not. If you just think before you speak, I will speak and think after, whether you're wise or if you're stupid. But and it says in Matthew 20-34, but when these Pharisees heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. There will be many meetings concerning what I am saying because they don't want people to come to the truth. And that is why the locks is on their mouth. And that is what the spirit of Elijah always, because the spirit of Elijah is the spirit of the Christ. It is coming to the ninth power. It is coming to your higher self. It is coming to your Christ self. It is coming to your Christ energy. And that is why when I speak, it is not ego. Because we are in a war. Truth must rise above evil. Light must rise above darkness. And that is why I want to say to you, to those whom what I am saying is of help, or of better understanding to you, and your intuition is telling you to subscribe, go ahead, subscribe, like, or dislike, or comment. Whichever way you choose, I'm going to still preach the truth. So with all of that being said, my brothers, my sisters, the Mount Carmel Showdown would always be here as long as there are men who have enlightened and come to their Christ energy. That's why it says in Hebrews 13:8, Jesus Christ same yesterday, today, and forever. It is speaking about the awakened imagination. We'll do the same thing all the time. Peace. I'm out.